Good morning. Just wanted to do a short version of what I've been planning on doing, but haven't been able to do it because of the wood chips that got delivered and everything else that you've seen. But I just wanted to tell a little story about these chickens. About 4 years ago, we were trying to decide what pet to get. We ended up ending, obviously, on chickens. It was on a complete whim. We were just talking. Chickens came up. None of us have been around a farm or chickens, or really anything for that matter. So we ended up getting chickens, obviously. And these animals, these birds, these chickens, this poultry has completely changed the way I see things in a good way. Because once they got of age of laying eggs, you start to question where the egg came from. It came from the chicken in the backyard. Well, how did the egg get made? You know, the kids wouldn't even eat the eggs. They thought it was gross. But we would go to the grocery store and get eggs and they would eat them. And honestly, we were a little weirded out too. I thought the texture was different. It was different when you ate it. There was really no question that the egg was different. So of course, you know, I'll try to plug in some pictures of the yard and what I used to do. But stop dumping chemicals and pesticides and insecticides and all the sides that are on the wrong side that I've realized that is just eradicating everything that lives. We're just eradicating life and polluting our water because it usually just runs right off the dead dirt, dead soil that's not alive, that's hard as a brick. It's like concrete, and the water just runs right off, carrying all those pesticides and insecticides and every other side that we dump on our grounds to kill anything that moves. And I was too. I thought that was the right thing to do. I wanted my grass to be nice and green. I wanted the yard to look good. Little did I know that even though the yard did look good and it was green, I had to water it twice a week because it couldn't absorb water, and I had to keep feeding the grass because there was no way that the grass could get any kind of nutrients from the dead soil, dead dirt, basically concrete. Hi, Scales. But as moving on, I was going to try to keep this a short intro. I realized I started questioning all that. You know, where do the eggs come from? We're going to eat these eggs. My families are going to eat the eggs. The kids are going to eat the eggs, even though the kids didn't eat the eggs for the first year, just about. But it started to make you wonder, you know, what are they eating? I always let them go. We'd walk around the front yard before I realized that HOA didn't allow chickens because I didn't read the covenants. I just looked up the city, and the city said chickens were fine, roosters were not. So we got chickens, and that's another story of HOA. We almost lost them. But again, I stopped dumping all those chemicals and having chemical warfare and war in my front yard just to have green grass, killing everything that moved. Then I started realizing the stuff that I was killing as far as on the plant side, weed side is what I thought. The weeds were actually good for you, and we could eat them. The chickens could eat them. They're henbit, chickweed, you know, the clovers, all the stuff that was considered weed that I was throwing down chemicals to kill could actually feed the chickens and be nutritious for them and make healthy eggs for us. Very much a aha moment. All this time and money and water that I've wasted on killing anything that moves, throwing down our fertilizer for the grass because the grass can't grow without it because the soil is dead. It's just dirt. Sorry, I was looking around the chickens. I thought they saw a hawk or something in the air. But no, it's definitely made me realize that we completely work against nature. Completely. I was eradicating everything. I was poisoning everything. I was poisoning our waterways. Not even realize it. Completely unknowing. Thinking I'm doing right. And I liked it. The grass was green, it looked good. I would get some compliments from neighbors. Your yard looks great. But little did I know how wrong I was. But getting chickens, this made me realize that. And I've completely changed. So the last 4 years, the yard has transformed from me not spraying or dumping any insecticides, pesticides, all the wrong sides. And there's lots of life coming. You can see what they're climbing on. I built that from Edible Acres, basically, was the idea, and it's a worm silo. So I'm hoping the worms will come through and take over the yard as well when we throw food out and things like that, and have compost. I got compost over there now. So much has changed. The soil is living in the front yard now. I've done cover crops. Complete reverse. But this is just a little bit. I'm going to go much more in detail. If you like what you see and where this is headed, please like and subscribe. I would love to build a channel that, if ever did make money, it would be nonprofit and it would go to nature. I would like to build birdhouses and give them away around the city, and I'll put them up. But I owe nature a lot after eradicating everything in my yard for so many years. I was committing chemical warfare, and it's terrible. And this is the way that I want to pay it back. So I hope that you'll come along with the journey that I've been going down and join me. Chickens changed my life. Once you start thinking about where your food comes from and what your food is doing and eating, it changes your perspective on basically everything, depending on where you're at right now in life. A lot of us have no clue where our food comes from. Not a clue. But to keep it short, and right now I can't post very long videos on YouTube until I get everything approved. I'm still learning on YouTube, but again, if this is interesting to you, please like and subscribe. It does help the channel. I haven't asked on any video, and I wasn't going to ask, but it does make a difference, and I would love to turn this into a nonprofit for nature. I was going to build birdhouses and give them away, but it costs money. I would like to get a nicer camera to produce better videos, but it costs money. But again, I'm going to do it, but any help would be appreciated. So hopefully you enjoy this. Hopefully I didn't ramble too much, and hopefully this will help you look at things differently. But if you are spraying insecticides, pesticides, and all the wrong sides in your yard and allowing your chickens to graze, would you eat the eggs? Would you let your family or neighbors and community eat the eggs? It's amazing how much differently I think now that we're doing that.